Next, American prosecutors have charged an alleged member of a Japanese organised crime group with attempting to traffic nuclear materials to Iran. Takeshi Ebisawa is accused of selling uranium and plutonium, which he believed would be used to build a nuclear bomb. The nuclear samples, which came from Myanmar, were seized by the Thai authorities, where he showed them to an undercover US agent who was posing as a drug and weapons trafficker. He was among 4 people arrested in Manhattan during a sting operation 2 years ago. I speak to James Sims, freelance journalist and columnist in Tokyo. Thank you very much for coming on the programme.
Yes, good to hear you.
So just talk us through, this seems a slightly complicated story, so talk us through what's happened here.
Right, it actually is quite complicated and actually a lot of unknowns, but there was a 20-page indictment from the U.S. District Attorney in New York, and this involves a sting operation going back to 2020 that was done by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration with the help of DEA offices and law enforcement around the world, including in Tokyo. And so basically they're alleging that this alleged Yakuza Ebisawa was trying to sell uranium yellowcake, which can be processed to make uranium for potentially nuclear weapons, and thorium, which can be used to make nuclear weapons, as well as weapons-grade plutonium. And that was I think that the key thing is that the plutonium samples that they had from Ebisawa, U.S. nuclear labs showed that they were weapons-grade plutonium, and this was done in 2022. And so basically, he was trying to sell the 50 million tons of uranium yellowcake, concentrated uranium and thorium, which could be weaponized into uranium-238 for quote-unquote nuclear weapons, for about 5.4 million pounds. And in looking at the indictment, there's some interesting conversations that were going on between the undercover agent as well as Ebisawa, and Ebisawa acknowledging that Iran was trying to get nuclear material, fissile material for nuclear weapons, and he said, "I know." And then Ebisawa volunteered, "Yes, but I have access to more powerful and better plutonium." And he also acknowledged that that he didn't have a license to sell these, which is kind of obvious. And the undercover informant said this is going to be a very quiet and secret illegal transaction. And one of the co-conspirators said that that they were mining uranium in Burma, which I think most people hadn't heard about anything in terms of Burma being able to mine uranium. But going back to, I was doing some research, there was a report in 2010 by a U.S. think tank that looked into the claims that potentially Burma was mining and milling uranium.
Yeah.
And it's sort of inconclusive.
Forgive me, James, I'm sorry, I've got to just jump in there. Thank you very much for talking us through that extraordinary story.